I'm dying for a white gold watch on a bracelet. Look how cool that Longines is.
Oh, that's
insane. That's like Elvis would wear that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You know, that's fucking cool.
Yeah.
So why don't I buy that?
I don't know
why? It's 30 millimeters. So that's a little bit too small even for me.
That's a small watch.
You know what I mean?
What are you wearing?
I'd say I'm in the gold watch mood. I'm in gold watch mood. What is up, Watch Fam? I am Christian, the curator of the Theo and Harris Watch Shop.
My name is Michael. This video is sponsored by Ryan Reynolds.
Mint Mobile.
Mint Mobile,
How
yes.
cool.
That's
great.
Yeah.
Thank you to Mint Mobile. More on those guys later.
Yes. Also, I was debating on if this should be the cold open or not, but you know the very famous saying, it's like, a really good comedian has funny jokes or whatever, but the highest level is that people mimic the way you speak. Did I tell you about Taylor and I mimic the way you speak for a very long time?
Oh, I didn't know that.
I told you that. I figured I'd pull the video and tell you.
You mean in the metal stuff? Yes.
On one thing. This is before
God.
I even was moving here to work with TNH.
This is bad.
Black. The sheer black. Yes.
The sheer blackness. I mean, it's depth.
Oh, before we even knew you, it would always, because I was editing for you, it'd be like the sheer blackness.
That's so funny.
What is going on? Anyways, today we're talking about the most revolutionary thing in movement history. Kind of.
Clickbait. Boop. You're here.
Done.
Too late.
Someone's already typing an angry comment. Well, actually, ports.
So this is an Omega release.
Yes. Do you know about this?
I saw pictures of it, but so this is interesting. So this is interesting.
Yes.
I saw pictures of this.
Okay.
Why didn't I click? The answer is not that, like, it's pretty obvious.
Too big?
No.
You don't care?
Great, another Speedmaster.
Yeah. Okay.
Great.
It was either something about the Speedmaster or the technological advancements from Omega. It's like, cool.
Cool.
And we'll get into it at the end, but my one gripe with every special release Omega does with the Speedmaster, besides a select few, they screw one thing up. At least for me, I don't know why they do that. But
really?
You'll definitely know.
Interesting. Back to what I said before about looking at it and glossing it over.
Yes.
That is a remark to, like, basically me seeing an Omega Speedmaster and saying, I already know everything about this watch. Not everything, but everything that,
of course.
Whatever. Of course. Basic knowledge. And this is another aesthetic variation, and that's great.
Yes.
Fine. That being said, let's not gloss over how cool I think it is that Omega has made so many variations of this watch in both size and design that am I going to read a dissertation on them? No. But like, there's so many cool Speedmaster variations.
That line is hysterical. Am I going to read a dissertation on them? No.
But they're so cool.
There is so many. Let's see if I still have it up. The Silver Snoopy.
Sheesh. Phenomenal. Japanese racing dials. Phenomenal. Japan in general. Big in Japan. Big in Japan. What are the other ones? Obviously,
what is the Big Arrow?
Oh, the broad, broad arrow, yes.
If someone's like, you guys are stupid as people.
No, but there are so many different variations.
True.
The blue ceramic, all these little details, moon phases, triple calendars.
The reduced to a certain degree is cool.
Definitely, it's very cool. They've literally, like, not to say reinvented, but they have executed this brilliant invention in so many tasteful, high quality ways that it's very impressive that they can still find ways to do it.
While also, interestingly enough, there is a Speedmaster. Which is very difficult to do.
Yes.
I can't even think of a good example, but like there is a Speedmaster. This is a Speedmaster, but it's not the Speedmaster.
Right.
Or yes, that's what I should say.
It is not the Moonwatch.
It is not the Moonwatch. That's the feat of engineering, where it's even like the reduced. You're like, okay, well, I'll just get that because I have a smaller wrist. And like, okay, it's automatic. It's a little different.
Right.
Everything is like that.
It's a Moonwatch, not the Moonwatch.
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah.
They even made it plastic.
That's a guy. It's not the guy. You know what I mean? Like that.
I thought you were pointing to a ghost.
No.
We're in your grandfather's house. When Christian leaves and it gets dark, if Tito's not here,
super spooky.
Oh my god.
Okay, so talk to me. Does this have the new bracelet? Yeah, it does.
Yes, it does.
Oh god. I'm hyper today.
Dude, let's get it.
So
That's because you get your turtleneck on. Your neck's all warm.
Turtleneck, I'm all warm. Okay, so I think what's very cool about this watch, again, not the most like brilliant thought here, but this watch is what, 44?
44.25.
Yep. So, and we both agree, I think, that we love like the juxtaposition between kind of a beefy case and a super thin, like a really refined band.
Yes.
A la like vintage Rolex, and they understand taper.
Yes.
Which is what we talked about with our conversation with the 222, which is a cool watch, it's a great watch, but it doesn't taper. It wears like a cuff. This wears like a cuff.
Yeah.
A cuff.
Yeah, 100%.
But the juxtaposition there between that thin strap, that thin band, and that beefy watch, super tasteful.
Found it. Especially because if you look at, I forget what series or reference numbers, not that I ever knew them. If you look at some Speedmasters when they just had those massive bracelets on, it just takes away from like the watches. Then it is too, I wouldn't even say too big, too bulky, too like cumbersome.
100%.
This has a beautiful taper. The actual bracelet's very light, and I love the way that the final end link, it doesn't like curve out. It's actually cut in. Like the link is cut in, so it falls flat.
Yeah.
So it's available to a lot more wrists. 44.25 we'll get into later. That is a big watch, as always. But anyway, so we'll go over, we'll never get crazy technical, but we'll go over the new regulation system, the spirate system.
Talk to me.
Which is fascinating. Apparently spirate is also, spirate is a Somali pirate nickname or something like that.
That's funny.
But whatever. Omega's being pretty honest. They say they literally combined spiral, that is made from silicon, and rate. And they made spirate.
Spirate.
Whatever. They put the work in the watch.
Yeah.
Naming, I feel like they're like,
well,
whatever.
Remember one of the first things that I thought was really cool about like Omega's naming, process and system was they color the name for their rose gold.
Yes.
Is Sedna gold. And I had no idea what Sedna was, right? Like, what the fuck is Sedna?
Right.
Sedna is a very, very, it's not even a planet. It's a very, very small, it's a planetoid that has this very red, Pluto?
Yeah.
It has this very red color that actually matches the Sedna gold very closely. So, I don't know, that was kind of cool. I was like, oh wow, no one even knows about this planet.
The intern definitely has to get a giant telescope and be like, that one kind of looks like
I work for Omega.
I work for Omega. I name the watches. So yeah, anyways, it's called spirate. So I don't know the joke. Even in the Hodinkee article, they were like, although I'll refrain from the name, like commenting on it, I was like, I would have never known anything.
I wouldn't have refrained from the name.
No, I would have gone all in.
Right.
Especially if I always put in the title, live picks and pricing. Omega sets a new standard of accuracy with the Speedmaster Super Racing.
Live picks and pricing.
Live picks and pricing. Who Googles live picks?
I don't know.
Anyways.
Live picks. It reminds me of like a peep show. Doesn't it?
Like,
it's like Anthony Weiner.
Live picks. Live pick.
And pricing.
Live pick. Everyone's like, oh, good. All the other picks don't move. Anyways, so this new technology, that little tiny thing right there.
Yeah.
The result is a patented new spiral technology with enhanced accuracy by way of a fine-tuning system that offers the ability to finesse the movement plus or minus 0.1 seconds per day, resulting in basically it's METAS certified. Look in the comments because I'm probably going to say something wrong. Certified, and then they can tune it to 0 to plus or minus 2 seconds.
It's like regulating, I suppose.
Exactly. They're basically saying this is our movement, and now we can regulate it so it gets even more accurate.
Interesting. So this is a new regulating system.
Exactly, yes.
Interesting.
But that's an accurate watch.
That is an accurate watch.
Which I feel like we need because...
Thank God, because I'm always late with my Omega.
That's my problem too.
People are late because they manage time improperly, not because your watch was fast. No one's ever said, I'm late, my watch was fast by 6 seconds.
People said that in the 50s.
Yeah, right, exactly.
But you were so overworked.
It was also 30 minutes fast. It wasn't 6 seconds. My watch was an hour and a half fast. I'm sorry.
I don't know what happened. It's a Seinfeld joke.
Yeah.
Kramer says no to daylight savings.
Yes. But no, I mean, you're late because you're bad at time management. That's it.
It's interesting because for me, it's cool. I guess I'd like to know that I have it in my watch, but really it doesn't particularly do anything for me.
Listen, all watch technology is, we're patrons of the arts. That's it. There's no functionality.
A woman swam across the English Channel in the 30s with a Rolex. Yeah. Like, are you going to do that?
Exactly. That's it. I mean, this stuff is unnecessary. Yep. It is useless, basically. But we are partaking in and supporting with our money, the craft of watch watchmaking, the development of a
It really is. It
old
really
technology.
is again, Seinfeld reference. Toilet paper. It's just like, they're not going to make it any better.
Yeah.
And then they're like, well, no, that's 5-ply.
Yeah.
It's like, this is the same thing.
This is
It's like,
5-ply watch.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You're like, I guess I don't like you. What innovations can you make besides materials, accuracy, and design?
Today's episode is sponsored by our friends over at Mint Mobile, who just started saving us money pretty recently.
Yes, $15 a month for the lowest plan is a fantastic deal and significantly less than I was paying.
Yeah, it saved me what, like $80?
Wow.
$80 a month.
That's banging. You know, actually, which I'm assuming a lot of people are in the same boat, I cannot separate my work life from one telephone. Mm-hmm. Been debating for a very long time if I should get a second telephone.
Yep.
So I've been debating that for a while, but I'm like, I don't want another plan. I don't want another, spending on a ton of stuff that I probably won't use if it's especially for a work phone. Like, I should get the cheapest plan. Mint Mobile makes that possible in two ways. One, you can get their service, or you can switch to your own phone with an eSIM, so you don't even need to get a SIM card. But two, they have a phone shop, so you can get a phone from Mint Mobile, then get their plan, and cruise and separate everything perfectly.
The big thing that I was nervous about was my cell phone service.
Of course.
There is no amount of savings per month, whether it be 80 or 500 or 800.
Yeah, right.
That would make it worth it. Actually, way more than that. That would make it worth it for me to compromise my service. I need to basically be, available at all times.
Yeah.
When I dug deeper and found out that Mint Mobile uses T-Mobile as their provider, I didn't even have to change my provider. I already have T-Mobile. So I went from
nothing.
T-Mobile to Mint Mobile and saved money. It was phenomenal.
Exactly. So you get unlimited nationwide talk and text, plus lightning fast 5G, and a free mobile hotspot. It's all really... Mint Mobile will suggest ways of like, okay, this is probably your best plan. Yes. Instead of being like, well, Michael, who uses his phone all the time, I use a ton of data, versus my dad, who uses virtually no data.
Yes.
Mint Mobile is the guy being like, hey, listen, Michael, you do this. Frank, you do this.
Yes.
Why are you on the same plan?
Yes.
That doesn't make any sense.
They're basically recommending for your data, right? Like the proper plan for you that's going to be economical and everything like that. So kind of custom tailored to your needs.
Exactly.
Phenomenal service. I had been skeptical about companies like this before. The companies had claimed to do something similar, save you money every month in your cell phone service. I don't need that.
They have drastically less Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, exactly. I was not interested in that, again, because I was afraid of the service. But Mint Mobile has been phenomenal. People all over the country are using it, and I'm glad now to be supported by Mint Mobile as well. So I highly suggest that you guys go and sign up for Mint Mobile. Give it a shot. You will not regret it. The service is phenomenal, and the price, well, you just can't beat. And who can't use an extra $50 or $80 or whatever dollars?
Save that money for groceries, going on dates,
gas.
movies.
I know how much money I spend on gas every month. I spend $100 a week on gas.
That is
a week on gas. So they basically bought me back a week of gas.
Yeah.
So that's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Couldn't be happier.
So sign up for Mint Mobile using our link. It is on the video, but also it is in the description below.
What I think is very interesting about Omega, from like just a total brand strategy standpoint, is that obviously they put a ton of time into marketing and PR. You see Omegas all over the red carpet, and that is not by accident. Mm-hmm. That is because they work very hard to educate celebrities and to get celebrities on their team, and not by paying them.
I was going to say.
They don't pay them.
And they're very serious. Like, you need to know what you're talking about.
Yes.
Right?
Omega will not even accept you. If you become a brand ambassador like George Clooney, they will not accept you as one until you have shown a great deal of like interest in the brand and like good faith with the brand. And that does include like actually buying watches. Like, they only will work with people that they know are good at it. I've told this story before. Cindy Crawford, we saw. Were you there? No, I wasn't. Cindy Crawford is a Omega brand ambassador since like the 80s or the 90s, probably the 90s. And listening to her speak about Omega as a brand ambassador was remarkable. I have never been so impressed by a brand ambassador in any field. I mean Neil deGrasse Tyson. When I saw Neil deGrasse Tyson. He's wearing an Omega. So I'm like, oh my God. And I'm not even telling Christian, because I'm like, I'm going to get Neil deGrasse Tyson in the video. This is going to be insane. So we're like chatting, and then I say, hey, by the way, like I actually make ads for watch brands. I know you have your Stephen Hawking Omega. Let's talk. Right. And he goes, how to do product. And then it was like the next week he was in an ad for some product. And I was like, that's funny. Yeah. He only does misinformation.
But what I should have said to him was, you're not doing a product, you're doing time.
I know.
And he would have been like, oh.
I know. And the truth is, like if you, I mean, you could have pitched him, and if he listened for more than a minute, like it really is, because we wouldn't
Talk
have
about
made
time
him,
and space.
100%.
Exactly.
We wouldn't have made him say anything about Omega.
No.
Just wear the Omega while you're discussing time.
Yes.
Done.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
And move your wrist a little bit this way,
yeah.
a little bit that way, up like this.
That's it. That's it. Do you want me to put the mic on you, or do you want to do it yourself?
You know how these things work, right? Christian always, oh no, I say, you know the drill. Drives Christian the same. Whenever we're miking up talent, I say, you know the drill. It's because it's usually a woman.
I contemplate suicide in that moment.
It's usually a woman, and I'm like, the mic has to go there.
Yeah, by your breasts.
And she's like, okay. I'm like,
I don't want to.
You should know the drill.
I'm like, I'll do it. Come here. Oh, I got tangled. I made a left in the nipple.
You're wrapped up in the wire. Help me.
like the Grinch when he wraps up Cindy Lou Who, you know.
Hold still. Max, pick out a bow.
Untie me. I'm
no.
like, you gotta let her do it.
That's funny. The great watch. Useless technology. I'm glad that we can support it. I think that this is brilliant. My point was that it's amazing that Omega puts in so much work clearly into their marketing, their PR, 100%.
Yep.
Omega puts in. Think about how dynamic with the Olympics. I mean, everything, right?
Yeah.
Omega has managed a massive retail expansion. Mm-hmm. So that's another huge achievement.
Yep.
Or undertaking. Omega designs are ever improving. Like they're always releasing something new. Like on the product design end, huge.
Yep.
They could skimp on movement development. They could skimp there
easily, yeah.
And no one would really know. The mass market, and Omega is a mass market brand.
Oh yeah.
No one would know. No one would know, and yet they still don't do that because they really are dedicated to product development. You put a mergers and acquisitions guy, you put an M&A guy into Omega for 2 minutes, and he's like, you guys need to cut it out with the time thing.
Fired.
Literally, no one knows what you're talking about.
But I'm doing the spirates. Get that.
You're a fucking dork. You're a dork.
You're a dork. You're a watch dork.
You're a fucking watch dork. And then
if you put Dave Portnoy in here, he's gutting everyone.
Yeah. Oh, that's so true.
I will say, which I've said before, I've used this analogy many times. It's like, you look at Omega and then you look at Rolex. Rolex is the cool guy in class that doesn't really do the presentation, but he's so cool that you're like, that's still awesome.
It's so good. Yeah.
Omega is the nerd in the back that like comes out with fire presentations, but like doesn't really rest on anything. So everybody's like, all right, relax.
Yeah.
But we also love their designs.
Yeah.
And you did it in the metal video where you said the Rolex Bombay lugs are arguably more beautiful than what we have right now.
I agree.
More ornate, everything.
I agree.
I fully agree.
You said it first.
I know, you said it. Oh, yeah.
I agree.
Can you play that video for me? I'm like, what? Like, play the blackness thing again.
Play it, Jamie. The sheer blackness.
That's when you see the main difference between Rolex and Omega. Like, Omega essentially does Bombay lugs on everything, twisted lugs on everything.
Yes.
So they're the ones doing all this crazy stuff in the movement. They're the stuff doing this daring thing, that daring thing.
Yeah.
When Rolex is just, they did it, and they'll continue to iterate slowly, but they know it works, and it works incredibly well.
Yeah.
And why are we going to add the spirate system on if we don't need it yet?
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, and go back not that long ago into the 90s, and Omega was using very mundane, uninteresting movements, you know, and it's just a different, even ETA movements, and it's a total different era of the brand. It's amazing. It's amazing. That being said, there was nothing wrong with that, right? Like there are plenty, you're just never going to be a really luxury watch if you're using those basic movements.
Right.
And then even, again, like tracing the history of using another brand's movements, Patek was using JLC movements for years, as was Vacheron.
That's our next live.
Oh, is it?
A little bit of it, yeah.
Oh, that's really interesting. I mean, just touching
it's really
on
cool
it,
that I
really,
think of
really
things like
interesting.
that.
I'm super brilliant. This is amazing.
Wow.
Another good example, is Cartier was the movements were manufactured by Audemars Piguet at one point, and manufactured by all these different brands. It's just interesting. Look at the Ralph Lauren Slim Classique in the shop right now.
Look at it.
That watch has a movement powered by, it's a Piaget movement, right? I mean, Ralph Lauren basically said there is no way that we're going to be able to make a movement as good as Piaget
without just blowing a budget for no reason.
Right.
For no reason.
It costs dozens of millions of dollars to beat them, and it's ridiculous. Let's just Let's just defer to them.
Yeah.
That's classic old school watch strategy.
Yeah.
You know, the
That's
original
actually a very
Royal
heavy
Oak.
part of the next episode.
Is it?
And literally, you're going basically following the script.
Okay, fine. Then I won't even. Touch
that's
it.
amazing.
Fine.
I mean, I'll admit it.
But definitely go take a look at the Ralph Lauren Slim Classique in the shop. As I said in the metal, you remind me of in the metal.
Yeah.
I have spent more hours over the last couple of weeks admiring that watch than I spent wearing it. It's that beautiful.
You know, it was funny too. I had that watch, I had to photograph it, and I didn't photograph it the day we spoke, but I was like, it's pretty big, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, it's how it wears on the wrist. And then when I was photographing it, immediately on my wrist, you're like, wow, this is perfect.
It's insane.
Super slim, 38 millimeters.
I can almost guarantee you, and I've said this a couple times before with different watches, I can almost guarantee you that watch will end up in Asia. The buyer, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I've been selling watches for 8 years or 9 years or whatever, and you kind of just the Asian clients are generally they're more open to really my watch taste.
Interesting. Small gold watches.
They're very elegant. They're just America's more sporty.
You go to
I ship a
Asia.
watch to the UK. It's a fucking sports watch.
Yeah.
Like I'm not shipping which it's possible. There are plenty of tasteful people living in the United Kingdom and Italy, blah blah blah. But I know disproportionately.
What a weird qualifier. That's how you know you've been on YouTube for 8 years.
What?
Because you're like, if I say sports watches go to the UK, I'm going to get roasted.
Oh, people, relax. I'm just saying.
We like you.
Yeah, Asian clients disproportionately, enjoy really elegant watches that I enjoy. Period. They also like the American clients that will allocate money to a dress watch.
Yeah.
Aren't as convicted in the dress watch category as the Asian clients. So American clients may say, I'll put like $3,000 or $5,000 into a dress watch, which is phenomenal. You could spend $1,200, and I think that's brilliant. I love dress watches. But the Asian clients are like, no, this is a great watch. I'll allocate 30.
Wow.
This is where I want to put my resources because I love that sort of elegance.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, you guys are great.
You guys are awesome.
You guys are great.
Hey guys, check out the new Ralph Lauren in the shop.
Yeah, exactly. No, but it's just funny, cultural, whatever habits.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
my last note.
Yeah.
Well, first off, obviously it's really not a big note, but the speed racing watch is meant to celebrate, which I don't really the line. Obviously, it's Omega, but it's meant to celebrate the 10th anniversary of the Aquaterra 15,000 Gauss. Am I missing something? Why?
I don't know.
That's a weird. I thought it would be like it's celebrating XYZ. I know it's a very big deal. It's a virtually anti-magnetic watch. That's a huge deal. But it doesn't. From then on, I'm like, okay, where is the?
Yeah.
Where's the connection there?
Yeah. I mean, I could understand if Omega, like if the golden thread is like our anti-magnetic watches
Pushing the boundary.
Well, like are yellow. You know what I mean? Like
you're right, but
but is that even like Rolex's Milgauss has had orange hand for a while or red hand back in the day.
Yeah.
Okay, I get the golden thread. I didn't see a thread here until you just said that. I mean,
but that's what it's. That's why it looks like.
No,
that.
I know, but what was in between?
Oh, that's what I mean.
Celebrating it later is like
a 10-year anniversary, but I'm like, why? That seems like a really weird thing.
God bless. You're nitpicking. You're pissing me off. Cut it out.
All the Omega engineers are like, does he not see it?
He doesn't get it. It's
he doesn't
yellow.
get it. It's yellow, and that's yellow.
It's literally yellow.
It's literally. Are they British in Switzerland?
No, they're French.
Okay, anyways, the last note. Why are all of Omega cool watches so big? Second question, why am I so small? But that's from my doctor, so I remember.
You're a fucking idiot. Why are Omega watches?
Last thing. Yeah. The 10, because it's a 10-year anniversary of this watch, the 10 on this speed racing watch has a custom Speedmaster font.
The 10.
The 10.
The 10th.
The 10.
Hour marker?
Number day.
Oh, on the day.
Yeah.
On the date.
Date. Yes, thanks.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that they had a number. Oh, okay.
That's why I'm like, what is the connection here?
It's cool. It's cool.
You guys are overthinking it. There's no connection here.
Yeah.
The only other thing is just why 44.25 millimeters. Same with the ceramic series, 44.25.
Listen, I gotta say, as long as it's executed well, like as long as then I'm all behind it. I think that there's nothing wrong with it. If it's too big, then it's too big, and that's fine. But I don't think it is. I think they're proportioned really, really well, and I'm all about it. Yeah, and clearly the market demand is there. Like Omega needs to make 42 millimeter, 44 millimeter watches. Like
Yeah, but I want mine in 42 or even 40.
But you wouldn't want that watch in 42. It's going to throw off the design.
How so? Oh, you think because of the flag on the outside and stuff?
Getting an extra millimeter does.
Yeah. Either way, I think shrink it down, make everything smaller, cramp it all up.
The watch is huge. Okay, relax. It's not that big. Okay, because now you're pissing me off.
What, 44.25? That's yeah. I guess
when you said it was big, I had no problem with it. Now that it's huge, now you're pissing me off. Take your head out of my ass.
I'm like, we're talking about the watch. You're like, I know, but it's just words.
It's breaking my concentration. Anyway, yeah. I think that the proportion would be thrown off if you cut off 2 millimeters, and I don't think you'd like the watch as is design-wise as much. That's your watch.
But it's 44.25. Yeah.
Yeah, you couldn't wear it. I also think that you couldn't wear it because it's f***ing ugly. I think that's the other reason you couldn't wear it.
All right, that's all we have.
Yeah.
Omega, make your watches in 42 millimeters.
Omega, don't listen to him. What does he know? All right, go ahead and sign up for Mint Mobile. Save money now and have phenomenal service. Can't beat either. Now, go ahead and sign up for Mint Mobile.